Welcome back, seekers of the supernatural and guardians of the goosebumps. If you've found your way here, it's likely that you share a fascination with the eerie and the inexplicable, the kind of stories that send shivers down your spine and leave you glancing over your shoulder long after the tale has ended. We are not just storytellers, we are explorers of the unknown, delving deep into the realms where history meets horror and reality blurs into the spectral. Today, we embark on the 5th episode of our chilling journey through the haunted landscapes of Oregon, a state steeped in natural beauty, rich history, and whispers of the supernatural. From its mist-shrouded forests to its rugged coastlines, Oregon is a tapestry woven with tales of tragedy, mystery, and lingering spirits. Each location carries its own dark narrative, steeped in history and whispered through the winds that sweep across this picturesque yet hauntingly beautiful state. In this installment, Most Haunted Places in Oregon, Part 5, we will traverse some of the most infamous sites that have captivated locals and visitors alike. These are not mere ghost stories, they are fragments of a past that refuses to be forgotten, beckoning us to explore their depths and perhaps confront our own fears. Dim the lights and prepare to step into the shadows. By the end of this exploration, you'll not only know about Oregon's most haunted sites but also feel the haunting presence of their histories pressing against your very soul. Are you ready? Let's dive into the heart of Oregon's haunted legacy. And remember, what you're about to discover may leave you questioning whether ghosts truly walk among us, or if they've been watching you all along. The Ghosts of Astoria's Liberty Theater echoes from the stage nestled in the historic port city of Astoria, Oregon. The Liberty Theater stands as a majestic relic of the early 20th century. Built in 1925, this opulent venue was once a hub for vaudeville performances, silent films, and grand theatrical productions. Its ornate architecture, gilded interiors, and sweeping marquee evoke a sense of nostalgia, transporting visitors to a bygone era of glamour and entertainment. Yet beneath its polished facade lies a darker narrative, one steeped in tragedy, betrayal, and the unshakable persistence of the past. Known locally as one of the most haunted places in Oregon, the Liberty Theater has become a beacon for both history enthusiasts and paranormal investigators eager to unravel its spectral secrets. The haunting lore of the Liberty Theater begins with its construction and early years. During its heyday, the theater attracted performers and audiences from across the Pacific Northwest, but it also became a stage for personal dramas that would leave an indelible mark on its history. One of the most frequently cited spirits is that of a young actress named Evelyn, whose tragic love story has become a cornerstone of the theater's haunting lore. According to legend, Evelyn fell deeply in love with a fellow performer who promised to marry her. When he abruptly disappeared without explanation, Evelyn's heartbreak drove her to take her own life backstage. Today, visitors attending performances or events in the theater often report feeling an overwhelming sense of sadness and hearing faint sobs emanating from the wings. Some claim to have seen the spectral image of a woman in a tattered gown standing by the curtain, her sorrowful gaze fixed on the stage as if waiting for her lover to return. Equally chilling is the tale of Mr. Whitcomb, the theater's original owner, whose spirit is said to roam the auditorium and dressing rooms. Staff members recount instances of feeling an icy draft sweep through the room, accompanied by the sound of heavy boots stomping across the floorboards. One technician claimed to have seen a burly man in suspenders glaring at him from the doorway before vanishing into thin air. Locals believe Mr. Whitcomb's restless spirit remains tied to the theater, ensuring that operations run smoothly even in death. The basement of the Liberty Theater holds its own share of horrors. Once used as a storage area for props and costumes, it is rumored to be haunted by the spirits of stagehands and performers who met untimely ends within its walls. Visitors brave enough to venture down there speak of hearing distant chanting and the rhythmic beating of drums, transporting them back to a time when the theater echoed with the sounds of rehearsals and performances. Others described seeing shadowy figures crouched around an invisible fire, their forms flickering like candlelight before dissipating into the darkness. These haunting narratives attract a myriad of visitors, each seeking their own brush with the supernatural. Paranormal investigators equipped with EMF detectors and infrared cameras regularly conduct overnight vigils, hoping to capture undeniable evidence of the theater's ghostly inhabitants. Footage captured by some teams appears to show orbs of light hovering near antique furnishings, while audio recordings reveal faint whispers and unexplained knocking sounds. Meanwhile, curious tourists attend performances or tours specifically in the hopes of experiencing firsthand the chilling ambience that permeates the air. The Liberty Theater thus serves as a fascinating intersection of art and fear, where the echoes of the past refuse to fade. It invites intrepid souls to delve into its shadowy corridors, daring them to uncover the truths hidden within its haunted halls. For those willing to confront the unknown, the theater promises an unforgettable encounter with the spirits of yesteryear, making it a quintessential stop on any haunted journey through Oregon. The phantom lights of Tillamook Rock Lighthouse, beacons from beyond perched precariously atop a jagged rock formation a mile off the Oregon coast. Tillamook Rock Lighthouse, affectionately known as Terrible Tilly, stands as a sentinel against the relentless fury of the Pacific Ocean. First lit in 1881, this iconic structure guided countless sailors safely to shore, its beam cutting through the dense fog and stormy nights that define this untamed stretch of shoreline. But beyond its practical purpose, the lighthouse harbors a spectral secret, one that has earned it the title of one of the most haunted places in Oregon. For over a century, visitors and keepers alike have reported eerie encounters with ghostly phenomena, suggesting that something otherworldly resides within its walls. The haunting lore of Tillamook Rock begins with its perilous construction. Carved out of sheer basalt and battered by relentless waves, the lighthouse was built under grueling conditions that claimed the lives of several workers. Local folklore suggests that the spirits of these men remain tethered to the lighthouse, forever bound to the place where they met their end. Visitors touring the site often report feeling an overwhelming sense of unease, as though the air itself resists their presence. Cold spots materialize without warning, sending shivers down spines even on sweltering summer days. Some claim to hear faint cries and moans emanating from the walls, voices pleading for help or forgiveness. Perhaps the most harrowing accounts involve direct encounters with individual spirits. Visitors have reported seeing a translucent figure dressed in period attire, believed to be one of the original lighthouse keepers. He has been spotted wandering the halls, his movements slow and deliberate, as if performing tasks long abandoned. On occasion, guests staying overnight in the converted bed and breakfast claim to wake in the middle of the night to find him standing silently at the foot of their bed, his expression unreadable before he fades into nothingness. Other encounters defy explanation altogether. Many have described hearing the sound of footsteps pacing the wooden floors above or below them, despite knowing they are alone in the building. Objects reportedly move on their own, a book falling from a shelf, a chair scraping across the floor, as if manipulated by unseen hands. One particularly chilling account comes from a tour guide who claimed to have felt a cold breeze rush past her while locking up for the night, followed by the distinct sensation of fingers brushing against her arm. When she turned, no one was there. The lighthouse itself seems to amplify these supernatural occurrences. At night, when the powerful Fresnel lens casts its beam across the ocean, some visitors swear they see shadowy figures standing at the edge of the light, gazing out toward the horizon. Others describe hearing faint whispers carried on the wind, voices speaking in languages they cannot understand. Even the surrounding sea, vast and unforgiving, appears to hold secrets of its own. Boaters exploring the area near the lighthouse have reported seeing glowing orbs floating on the water or hearing disembodied laughter echoing through the waves. Skeptics have attempted to rationalize these phenomena, attributing them to natural causes such as shifting foundations, electromagnetic interference, or psychological suggestion. Yet none of these explanations fully account for the consistency and specificity of the reports. Local paranormal investigators conducting overnight studies have captured intriguing footage and audio clips, including EVP recordings of a voice softly calling out names and thermal images showing humanoid shapes moving through walls. While conclusive evidence remains elusive, the cumulative weight of these accounts lends credence to the belief that Tillamook Rock Lighthouse is indeed haunted. What makes the lighthouse particularly compelling is its dual identity, as both a functional beacon and a vessel of mystery. By day, it draws tourists eager to marvel at its engineering and breathtaking views. By night, however, it transforms into a realm of uncertainty, where the line between the living and the dead blurs into shadow. Whether the spirits of the workers and keepers truly haunt its halls or the lighthouse channels residual energy from its storied past, one thing is certain: those who visit leave with more than just photographs and souvenirs. They carry with them the lingering impression of having brushed against the supernatural. To stand beneath the watchful gaze of Tillamook Rock is to confront the enduring power of place and memory. Its beams may guide ships to safety, but its shadows seem to beckon curious souls to delve deeper into its mysteries. For those brave enough to heed the call, the lighthouse promises an unforgettable encounter with the unknown, an experience that reminds us that even the brightest lights can cast the deepest shadows. The sinister whisperings of Portland's Shanghai tunnels, shadows of suffering beneath the bustling streets of Portland lies a forgotten world. A labyrinthine network of tunnels collectively known as the Shanghai Tunnels, originally constructed in the mid-19th century as part of the city's underground infrastructure. These subterranean passageways were repurposed during the late 1800s to facilitate one of the darkest chapters in Oregon's history, the practice of Shanghaiing. This grim trade involved kidnapping unsuspecting men, often sailors, laborers, or drunk patrons from local saloons, and smuggling them through the tunnels to waiting ships bound for far-off ports. Many never returned, their fates sealed in the damp, suffocating darkness below ground. The haunting reputation of the Shanghai tunnels dates back to the years immediately following their use for Shanghaiing. Workers tasked with maintaining the tunnels reported strange encounters, claiming to hear faint cries and footsteps echoing through the corridors, despite no one else being present. Doors would slam shut without cause, and tools would vanish only to reappear in distant chambers. Some claimed to see shadowy figures darting through the dim light of their lanterns, their movements too quick to follow before dissolving into the blackness. These accounts laid the foundation for the tunnel's enduring reputation as a site of intense paranormal activity. Modern visitors recount similarly unsettling experiences. Tourists venturing into the tunnels often describe feeling an oppressive weight pressing down on them, as though the very air is thick with sorrow. Cold spots materialize without warning, sending shivers down spines even on sweltering summer nights. Some claim to hear faint cries and sobs emanating from the darkness, voices pleading for help or forgiveness. Others describe seeing shadowy figures darting through the corridors, their movements too quick to follow, vanishing as suddenly as they appear. Perhaps the most harrowing tales involve direct encounters with individual spirits. Visitors have reported seeing a gaunt figure clad in tattered clothing staring at them from the shadows before melting into the wall. Others speak of a woman in a tattered dress, believed to be a victim of Shanghaiing, who appears in the tunnels clutching a child to her chest. Her mournful gaze pierces through the darkness before she dissolves into the mist. Local historians speculate that the tunnel's hauntings stem from the sheer brutality of the practice. Countless victims of Shanghaiing met violent ends, either murdered outright or left to die in the darkness after failed escape attempts. With no proper records kept, it's likely that many bodies were never recovered, their remains entombed within the walls or buried beneath layers of debris. The spirits of these unfortunate souls, it is believed, remain tethered to the tunnels, unable, or unwilling, to leave the place where their lives were stolen. Despite, or perhaps because of, its sinister reputation, the Shanghai tunnels continue to draw thrill-seekers and paranormal investigators eager to test their courage against the unknown. Guided tours occasionally venture into the safer sections of the tunnels, offering participants a glimpse into its haunted history. However, few dare to explore the uncharted areas, where the darkness seems alive and the air vibrates with an eerie energy. Those who do often emerge shaken, their flashlights drained and their nerves frayed, vowing never to return. For those brave enough to descend into its depths, the Shanghai tunnels offer more than just a brush with the supernatural. It serves as a stark reminder of humanity's capacity for suffering and resilience. The tunnels are a tombstone for the forgotten, a place where the echoes of the past refuse to fade. And as long as the city of Portland towers above, oblivious to the haunted world beneath its feet, the spirits of the Shanghai tunnels will continue to roam, their voices crying out from the shadows, desperate to be heard. The cursed ground of Dead Man's Pass, a road shrouded in mystery on the outskirts of Salem, Oregon, lies a stretch of rural highway cloaked in legend and fear. Dead Man's Pass. This winding ribbon of asphalt cuts through dense evergreen forests and rolling hills, its sharp turns earning it a reputation as one of the most dangerous roads in the region. But the danger here extends far beyond reckless drivers and blind curves. For generations, travelers have reported eerie encounters along this desolate stretch, suggesting that something otherworldly stalks the shadows of Dead Man's Pass. The origins of the road's ominous moniker are shrouded in mystery, though local lore points to a series of grisly accidents that occurred during the early 20th century. According to one widely told tale, a stagecoach carrying gold miners returning from the nearby mountains overturned on a particularly treacherous bend, killing all aboard. Witnesses claim to have seen the ghostly figures of the miners wandering the roadside in the weeks following the crash, their translucent forms illuminated by the moonlight filtering through the trees. Though the sightings eventually faded, the name Dead Man's Pass stuck, serving as a grim reminder of the tragedy that befell the ill-fated travelers. Decades later, new reports of paranormal activity began to surface, reigniting fears of the road's haunted reputation. Drivers traveling at night describe a recurring phenomenon: the sudden appearance of a pale, faceless hitchhiker standing on the shoulder of the road. Those who stop to offer assistance claim the figure vanishes without a trace as soon as they roll down their window or step out of their vehicle. Others report hearing faint laughter echoing through the trees, a sound that seems to follow them until they leave the pass behind. Some even swear they've felt an icy hand brushing against their arm while driving solo, as though an unseen passenger has climbed into their car. More chilling are the accounts of mechanical failures experienced by motorists along Dead Man's Pass. Engines stall inexplicably, headlights flicker and die, and GPS devices lose signal, all without any apparent cause. A group of teenagers once shared a harrowing tale of their car breaking down in the middle of the pass late at night. As they waited for help, they noticed shadowy figures emerging from the woods, their movements jerky and unnatural. Panicked, the teens locked their doors and honked their horn until the figures retreated into the darkness. When a tow truck finally arrived, the driver found no signs of tampering with the vehicle, leaving the teens convinced they had narrowly escaped something sinister. Local residents have their own theories about the source of the hauntings. Some believe the pass is cursed, its malevolent energy stemming from the violent deaths that have occurred there over the years. Others point to Native American legends, claiming the land was once a burial ground disturbed by the construction of the road. According to these tales, the spirits of those interred beneath the earth rise to haunt trespassers, seeking vengeance for the desecration of their resting place. Despite, or perhaps because of, these terrifying accounts, Dead Man's Pass remains a magnet for thrill-seekers and paranormal investigators alike. Groups armed with cameras and recording equipment regularly venture onto the road after sunset, hoping to capture evidence of the supernatural. Footage captured by some teams appears to show orbs of light hovering near the tree line, while audio recordings reveal faint whispers and unexplained knocking sounds. Skeptics dismiss these findings as hoaxes or environmental anomalies, but for those who have witnessed the pass's haunting firsthand, the evidence feels irrefutable. For the brave souls who dare to drive its winding path, Dead Man's Pass offers more than just a test of nerve. It serves as a portal to the unknown, where the boundary between the living and the dead blurs into shadow. The road's dark history and persistent legends remind us that some places carry scars too deep to heal, their tragedies etched into the very fabric of the earth. And as long as the pass twists through the Oregon wilderness, its ghosts will continue to haunt the edges of reality, whispering warnings to those who dare to tread too close. The Haunted Tapestry of Oregon. Weaving history and mystery as we reflect on the haunted landscapes of Oregon, it becomes evident that the state's supernatural allure is deeply intertwined with its rich and tumultuous history. From the spectral echoes of the Shanghai tunnels to the ghostly whispers of the Liberty Theater, from the enigmatic lights of Tillamook Rock Lighthouse to the shadowy depths of Dead Man's Pass, each haunted location tells a story not just of paranormal activity but of human drama, conflict, and the inevitable passage of time. These sites are more than mere backdrops for ghost stories. They are monuments to the events and emotions that have shaped the cultural and historical fabric of Oregon. Consider the Wolf Creek Inn, a symbol of pioneer hospitality turned repository of tragic tales. Its haunting is a direct reflection of the societal shifts and personal tragedies that unfolded within its walls. Similarly, The Pittock Mansion encapsulates the elegance of the Gilded Age, yet its spectral inhabitants remind us of the fragility of human life and the persistence of memory. Each ghostly presence, whether it be the restless spirits of the Shanghai tunnels or the spectral hitchhikers of Dead Man's Pass, serves as a poignant reminder of the lives lived and lost, and the stories left untold. Moreover, these haunted locales contribute significantly to Oregon's identity as a state steeped in both beauty and brutality. They invite us to confront the darker chapters of our past, urging introspection and remembrance. The phantom lights of Husetta Head Lighthouse, for instance, challenge our understanding of the natural world, pushing the boundaries of science and folklore. They embody the mystique that makes Oregon not just a geographical entity, but a living, breathing narrative woven from countless threads of history, myth, and mystery. In essence, the haunted places of Oregon are mirrors reflecting the complexities of human experience. They compel us to look beyond the surface, to question what we know, and to embrace the unknown. As conduits of both fear and fascination, they hold a mirror up to our collective psyche, revealing the inseparable link between our history and our hauntings. Thus, these sites are not merely haunted, they are hallowed, preserving the echoes of the past and ensuring that the stories of those who came before continue to resonate through the ages. And so, dear viewers and fearless explorers, we arrive at the end of our journey through the haunted heart of Oregon, a journey that has taken us from the blood-soaked grounds of the Shanghai tunnels to the ghostly corridors of the Wolf Creek Inn, from the spectral lights of Husetta Head Lighthouse to the shadowy depths of Terwilliger Plaza. Along the way, we've uncovered stories of tragedy, resilience, and the unshakable persistence of the past. These haunted places are more than relics of history. They are portals to the unknown, reminders that the echoes of yesterday still reach out to touch us today. But this isn't the end, it's merely the beginning of your own adventure. The spirits of Oregon are waiting, and they have much more to reveal to those brave enough to listen. Whether you're planning a road trip to Dead Man's Pass, booking a stay at the Wolf Creek Inn, or simply diving deeper into the lore of these haunted landmarks, remember that the true magic lies in your willingness to explore. Keep your flashlight handy, your mind open, and your courage steady, because you never know what might be watching from the shadows. If you've enjoyed this journey into the supernatural side of Oregon, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. You won't want to miss our next deep dive into the eerie and unexplained. Share this video/article with fellow thrill seekers, leave your thoughts in the comments, and tell us, which haunted place would you most like to visit, or avoid at all costs? Your engagement fuels our passion for storytelling, and we're grateful to have you as part of this community of curious minds and brave hearts. Until next time, keep chasing the mysteries that lie just beyond the veil. After all, the ghosts of Oregon are always watching, and sometimes, they're closer than you think. Stay spooky, stay curious, and remember, the unknown is calling. Will you answer?